Morning.
Evening.
Hey.
And
Hello,
Gary's muted.
Yes.
I'm always muted, dear boy. It's for the best.
Oh dear. Right.
How are we, gentlemen?
Stressed.
Hmm?
Why are you stressed, Gary?
Computer said no.
Well,
If you just seen me 10 minutes before we went live, I was not a happy bunny. But hey,
It was like listening to someone with their head in a fishbowl whilst they're underwater.
for some reason, Google Chrome would not let me change cameras, would not let me change microphones. It had defaulted to a webcam microphone, which isn't very good. So I then had to quickly download Firefox, try and remember my Facebook password to get the link for the show for today. But we're here, and it's working.
yay.
Proper preparation.
Oh,
And
I'm
how
not
is Weight
stressed.
Rose?
I'm calm and chill, and I'm just ready to do this thing.
Excellent. And how is Weight Rose?
Moderately well, thank you.
Moderately well.
I've been starting the decals on my Spitfire from FX, my Irish Spitfire, the TR9.
Modders.
Is that the twin
I'm
seat?
not that fat, mate. Are you saying something? You saying I'm fat? Modders.
No.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the two-seat kit. So, just started the wing decals of that. I will say, in my humble opinion, the best 148th Spitfire they've ever made.
Wow.
It's absolutely, fit is superb. Really, really good fitting. The surface detail is beautiful. I haven't done any panel line washing. Did a bit of pre-shading. No panel line washes, and I can see every rivet that they've molded into it really well.
Cool.
It's a beautiful thing. Really
Well done,
beautiful.
FX.
So about 3 days it's taken me to get to that, on and off, not working. So really happy.
Brilliant.
Got and it's got a red propeller as well. Everyone likes a red spinner.
Everyone likes a red spinner.
Absolutely. So that's cool. So basically just the gear to go on that, and that'll be finished. And it's been a joy to build.
Cool.
All I can say.
Very good.
Cool.
Very good.
Very good. Hopefully we'll have a full session today. Should we go through the chat, modders? GM says third. Woo!
Scott's model says hello.
GM says, hello, Scott. Hello, everyone joining in today. No, it's this way for me, isn't it? Because it's reversed. Yeah.
Duke says, g'day, you beautiful people. Hope you are land happy today. Land happy? Land happy?
GM says, hello, Duke. Both feet firmly on the ground.
And Duke says, ha ha ha, Gary. Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
25 years in show business. Ha ha.
Bob says, good morrow, all. I suspect that yet again I shall be getting amused by all and sundry.
I hope so.
I know them. Good chaps, all and sundry.
Jim went to
Great
school
band.
with all and sundry.
Yeah.
Gary says, Duke, the question is, what about the rest of the panel members? Could be a question or two there.
Well, very questionable, yeah.
Extremely. Extremely.
Yeah, come on.
GM says, Bobby, hello.
Yeah.
And Bob says, hello, one of the many Garys manifesting here.
Yes.
It is a bit of a Gary fest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gas
GM
fest.
says, well, our suspects are arriving now. Ha ha.
And Bob says, we just need Waitrose and Morris Minor to complete the Threes Wise Monkeys. See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil of the Gary triumvirate. Triumvirate. How nice.
Mm.
Glad you got that one.
He also says, yes, today's painkiller's making me ramble again. Or ramble
Oh
happy.
dear. Oh dear.
GM says, Bobby, I currently don't have a manifest. I've already eaten dinner.
And Bob says, are you keeping the manifest for dessert? They go well with the light beer, I'm told.
Light beer, I'm told.
Where have we gone
Yeah.
with this?
Columbus says, evening usuals. Hello, Callum.
Hello, Callum. Hey, mate, those 3D STL files are absolutely brilliant, mate. GM says, Bobby, shh, it's a secret. Strawberry jam on cheese, etc. No.
Delicious.
No.
Wait.
Don't knock
Duke
it till you
says,
try it.
G'day,
No.
Columbus.
And 17 Mary says, David, like that David's name. David says, "G'day all." I remembered.
Bob says, a secret strawberry is the one that hide in shorts.
Depends how tight the shorts are. They may not be secret.
They may not be strawberries. Next. GM says, Bobby, oh, don't know. I'll have to ask the elves.
And Bob says, hola, David. Goodies awaiting your pleasure.
Yeah. Well, says Mr. G, are those the safety elves, the ones with pointed pom-poms?
They're
That
fembots.
medication, whatever you're on, dude, let me know. It sounds epic.
Moderator Julian says, afternoon all. Hello,
New
Julian.
Julian.
Hey, Julian.
Bob says, and the music plays.
It's cool music.
GM says, Bobby, yeah, bright coloured shirts.
Well, I've got a white shirt on, which probably means I'll chuck black.
Timmy says, ahoy, g'day vets and chat.
Timmy!
Timmy.
Bob says, elven safety fluorescent stripes.
Elfin safety. Elfin safety.
Good for your elf. Julian says, hiya, Scott, Gary, Duke, Bob, Columbus, and Tim. Or Timmy, as he likes to be known as.
Kevin Trainer's in saying, g'day, everyone.
G'day, Kev.
Okay. And Bob says, g'day, Julian.
Jem says, good day, Kevin.
G'day. And Julian says, afternoon, needy North Walian angelic host, selfie McShelf face, Commander Evans, evening, John.
Shelby McShelface. Wow. Julian says, doctors get worried if your spin is red. Oh, I guess they would.
I could follow that up there.
Tiff says, land happy instead of sea fury.
Oh, got it.
I see. Well done.
Very clever. Too clever for the likes of me.
Too smart for us. Way too smart for us.
Duke says, sorry to confuse you, Wait Rose. Land happy, not sea fury.
Yes,
you go.
thank you. Thank you, Duke.
Julian says, aha, fluent in Duke speak, Tiff.
David says, hello, Tiff, Gary, Gay John, and Mikey.
Hey?
I can neither confirm nor deny. I'm going to get stuck into these shortly.
Golden Gate time biscuits. Oh my goodness.
Sounds a bit
Love
dodgy
it.
if you ask me.
However did he know?
Who knows? Maybe he's just subscribed to other apps are available. I don't
John's OnlyFans page.
Julian says, I appear to have accidentally skidded into outpatients. Oh, yeah.
David says, stupid fingers. Lol.
What'd you call me?
Duke says, at least Tiff gets me. Doesn't bode well for you, Tiff.
Tiff says, don't forget the thumbs up, people.
Hey?
I think you need to change
don't
the
forget the thumbs
emphasis
up.
on that.
Thumbs up,
People.
comma.
People.
Right.
People.
Yeah, that changes the context, doesn't it?
Julian says, hi, Kev.
2 thumbs, way up. The imperial thumbs
Puppet
up.
Master.
Ian's looking at his thumb.
David says, Bob will try to call over tomorrow around 1 p.m. with luck.
Matt Mook says, good afternoon, panel, and afternoon, chat.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Guy says, Mr. Marley, after watching your Wildcat wing change plans, did you know Academy have made a Wildcat with wings either folded or deployed? I have a video link for you, yes or no?
No, I wasn't aware, but I've bought this one now, so I'm going to do it. And Gary, your decals were sent today. I've sent 3 sets of three colours of 2 lots of complete serials for Mirage 3.0s. Just because I have a lot, so you get, well, not even a third of what I had, but they're in the mail today. Duke, your competition winner stickers in the mail, and Tim, your competition winner stickers in the mail today as well. I did stuff today.
There's a lot of
You
numbers.
did.
I'm going to the
You
post
did
office
good
this morning,
today.
and I'm going to post Matt's prize and the stickers for Tiff and Tim.
And I today am awaiting delivery of a package from Amazon.
Oh,
Then I'm going to the shops to buy a clear plastic box thing that I can put foam in and put my models in for shows.
There we go. So it's not just breaking out your disco moves then.
Your mates.
okay, this one. Julian says, Tiff, punctuation is important. Hopefully you meant people putting their thumbs up, not putting thumbs up people. Yes. That's all right.
1,300 hours is fine, Davis, says Bob.
David.
Tiff says, I know what I meant, and I'm sure you all did too.
Well, did we?
Well, we're all under the thumb, aren't we?
And Julian says that's a hell of a long 3D print, Bob. Ooh, 1,300 hours isn't a duration. Gotcha.
Bob says Memon is halfway through at 5.5 hours. Mammon? I'm not
Mammon
sure what
is-
Mammon is.
Okay, so to explain what they're
Sounds
talking
like
about,
a
because I don't
CIA
think,
thing.
because I don't think you're aware of what they're on about, Gary. Wait, Rich.
No.
Neither am I.
Bob is doing 3D prints of each of our characters.
Yes.
Ah,
So
Okay.
he's doing one for Julian of a demon sat in a wheelchair,
Cool.
wow.
and the demon's called Mammon.
I
Okay.
remember now.
Okay.
And he's doing
Very
our
good.
intro characters for us.
Uh-huh.
Very good. So, Sea Fury. So what I'm up to is
John, this one's for you.
GM says, John, thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Look forward to the serials. Very much appreciated. Thumb up. So I've gone for the blue all over. This is the. So we'll finish the comments first, shall we?
Okay, Bob. There we go.
Is that it?
Right, carrying on. So,
quickly.
where we
Carry on,
left off a week ago, I came up with a mix of what do they call it? Oxford Blue for the RWF one. So it's 2 parts SMS Midnight Blue to 1 part Standard Blue. And that's come up with a colour I think is pretty close to what I see in photos and all that. Giddy up.
I like
and
subtle
brouhaha.
changes in shade as well.
Well, the thing is, I ran out. I need to mix up a little bit more and then go over it again, just to sort of like.
I think it looks good like that
Yeah.
because it looks
Well,
well.
I need to mix a little bit more up anyway, because I ran out and I didn't get to do the canopy frames. So I've got to mix it anyway, and I'll just give another little bit of a splat. But yeah, it's all there. Just still got the yellow sort of hidden away underneath there and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to continue. I'll start by mixing a little bit more of this paint, 2 to 1, and crack on with that.
I'm going to try and get mine sprayed later.
God, I'm nowhere near ready for spraying.
It's primed. I just need to spray it. Ian says, just as you were talking about your packages, I got a knock at the door. Hobby Workshop parcel has landed.
I never
Nice.
mentioned my package.
What did you get, Ian? Let's switch to the desk.
You got to switch too? Oh, wow.
No, what was in your package, Ian? For
So funny.
Right,
Let's move this.
let's do some snipping.
Duke says, John, did you get the MDF frame from the Model Expo? I know you did. Ha ha ha.
No, I did not. I got the MDF frame from Telford. I've been to Telford, people.
Yeah,
So
but you
this
didn't
is
spot the part.
EBMA one. This Paul and Andrew, we've both bought one from the Melbourne show. Paul saw me buy this one and he was jealous, so he got one like it.
For those that don't know who Paul is, that's Duke.
No, I'm talking about the better looking Marley.
Oh. See, we just call him the better looking Marley.
Yeah.
Scott says, I got to see two Sea Furies race each other twice the last time they raced MiG-15. Nice. Jim says, John, I was chatting with some of our Korean club modelers about your impending wing cutting challenge, and one of them told me of their podcast on the Academy Wildcat build I didn't know about. Ooh, cool. Julian says,
We're all looking forward to the wing cutting challenge.
Are we? Not sure if I am.
I think it should be a live event.
Oh, it's going to take quite a while because it's complicated.
Well, the reason's complicated, or it's complicated.
It's a complicated cut.
Okay.
Julian says, is splat a technical term, John? I'm a newbie to spray brushing and I want to get the terms right.
Yes, splat. Splat is a technical term.
Yes.
It's I think it's German for reckless abandon.
Morris, have you got your instructions out?
Yes.
Could you tell me what colour the bottom colour is on our colour scheme, please?
Sky.
Sky. Thank you.
It says it actually says Humbrol 90, which is matte beige green brackets approximately sky. So I'm going with sky.
Cool. That'll do me.
Which is that one there, XF21.
I don't have Tamiya paint because I have a class.
Yeah, well, after yesterday's incident with the black paint, I think I might be going to. Well, it's all right because the new real colours is in drop. They're in dropper bottles now. So
You mean these ones?
well, they're the 3G, the real colour ones, which are current. Well, the old set were like that. But the new set, or the new real colours, are in this
AK.
AK 3G paints as well.
Yeah.
But I will
They're
be.
good.
Well, 3G paints are brilliant,
Yeah.
and they colour match perfectly with real colours.
Yeah.
So if you need to do a little bit of touch up after you've sprayed it with real colours, you can touch up with 3G.
Yeah. Paul says, "Good day, mates. Wife's home. Poor kid has shingles. First time in over 50 years together that she is crook. Bless her."
Oh, she's home from the hospital.
Yeah.
Good. I know from watching my nan and granddad go through shingles, it's not very nice.
No. Were they about your age when they went through it?
How do you answer that?
You don't. You treat it with the contempt it deserves.
Oh, GM says the Academy Wildcat is a fully detailed engine, wheel bay, cockpit, and wing fold details. It looks like a very nice kit in 148 scale, etc. Julian says he has the AK RAF set Mikey, not used it yet.
Yeah, it's good.
Bob says splat. Fairly accurately described my attempts at painting a submarine pink. Okay.
Oh, what were you doing the Operation Petticoat one?
Duke says, that's no good, Paul. All the best. Yes, and that's from all of us.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Ooh, I like this sky colour. It's nice.
Oh, it is.
Well, if you did more aircraft, you'd be able to use it more.
Shut up, not doing that.
It was a bit harsh.
No, when I was in Chester Model Centre yesterday, I was stood there for about 5 minutes trying to decide whether or not to get the TR9 kit.
Do it.
In the end, I decided. Well, in the end, I decided it's Airfix, it's a Spitfire, and I'm not becoming an addict.
Timmer says, praying for a speedy recovery, Paul. Gary M,
Yeah.
That's me convinced. I'll get that. Methinks, ha-ha! Yeah, because I think, we're talking about Wildcats and stuff like that. I think, both Timmy and the better-looking Marley are interested in building one as well, just because, a unique history.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Bob says, I was operating on a petticoat. Yes.
In a petticoat or...
Well, not judging. Ian says, at Mikey, Vallejo mold line remover, asterix, we were chatting about on Discord, green stuff chrome that you were using on Tuesday, Mr. Color leveling thinner and surfacer 1500 black and 2 Tamiya lacquer pots.
Are you saying
that's a big recipe
someone?
list.
Yeah. Did we actually inspire someone?
Does that make us influencers?
What?
Something
God.
Yeah.
That was
What
my
a
age
No, it can't be
immediately.
because we don't start all our videos with "Hi guys."
Paul
We could
says,
if you
thanks,
want.
fellas and chicks.
We could if they wanted us to.
Chicken wingers.
Kevin
the money
Trainer
was
says,
right.
be right back. I need a coffee. Crack
Telling
on.
me this morning. I've had
Actually, so
about
do I.
5. I think I'm on my 5th coffee now, and it's only what, 12:30.
Delicious. Okay, I'm going to jump across to the spray booth. So just bear with. I'll set that up momentarily, but I won't be able to read comments for a while. Oh, apart from this last one, Joe says, wow, sorry guys, apparently I overslept on Treason Day. Happy 4th of July, Joe. Good morning / afternoon / evening to all.
Oh yeah, happy 4th of July to our American viewers.
Of course, yeah, it's 4th of July, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
That's why Lake and Heath's closed.
Yeah, because they're all setting fireworks off and they don't want to shoot down their own aircraft again.
Okay, moving to the bench.
Yes. Your independence.
Yes.
Oh no, I've made a mistake. I'm going to have to bomb out and come back in.
Columbus says, Gary, I hope you and Mikey like my STL files. Just had a heads up. If you're looking at stowage for your Yag Panthers, I may be working on surprise. Ooh,
now you. Well, I'm seriously interested now.
Yes. Free upgrade kits for everyone.
Yeah, I downloaded them yesterday. I had a look at them in my slicing software, and they look amazing. So what I'm hoping to do is get my printer sorted, and then this weekend, i.e. tomorrow, if I get to the man cave, hopefully I will, because I want to see James Skiffins.
I've
would be
never
good
thought
to
I'd hear anyone say that.
But I wanted to see James Skiffins.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to James for ages.
He was on the chat the other day.
Yeah, but I wasn't, was I?
Well, no, you'd know that if you turned up.
I was looking after something or other, or I was skipping down the woods, or
You're skipping in the woods in your mankini.
there you go. See,
Yeah. See, if you hadn't joined a cult, you'd be fine. You'd know about all this. Tiff says, phone call. Apparently, John lives next door to a Formula One track.
it can only be Daniel Ricciardo. That does look good, Gary.
Oscar Piastri's Australian.
Is he?
Yeah.
You know, with a name like that, I expect him to be Italian.
No, I believe he's Australian, the current world championship leader.
I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
I've lost all track of Formula One.
Yep, McLarens are the team to beat at the moment.
Bloody
Oscar
hell.
Piastri and Lando Norris, the British driver.
Lando Norris is a British driver, isn't he?
Yeah.
Silverstone,
They're 1 and 2 in the championship.
Silverstone this weekend.
Certainly is. British Grand Prix.
Piastri's the Australian driver.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
See, told you.
I don't think I find Formula One
Boring.
I used to enjoy watching it, and then when we lost Murray Walker, it sort of didn't have the same
Yeah, I hear you.
TV coverage. Didn't have the same thing for me, and then it turned into basically a parade.
Yeah. I think the cars are too large now. It makes passing very, very difficult. And
I think they should bring back refueling because that was bloody funny.
Hugely dangerous, but bloody funny.
Yeah, especially when they blew up and things.
Yeah, but you know, when you think of it, all the refueling that they didn't have that many accidents with the refueling.
Well, they have to refuel at things like Le Mans, for example.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's kind of hard to drive a car for 24 hours without refueling.
Well, the official title of the race is the 24 hours race of speed and endurance. No, endurance and efficiency, I beg your pardon. Efficiency. So they actually limit how much fuel you're allowed over 24 hours.
Oh, right.
I was watching something the other day on the race, and they were stopping again. Ferrari this year did a 2-second pit stop.
I know. Ridiculous,
that's
isn't it?
amazing.
2
Ridiculous.
seconds to stop, change all 4 wheels, get back down, and go.
Yeah.
2 seconds.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Absolutely incredible. And yet, Quick Fit.
Apparently, you can't get quicker than a quick fit fitter. Well, I'm sorry, but Ferrari can.
Yes.
What for? Because of the legal things. By the way, Quick Fit is a perfectly good company, and there are other tyre fitting companies available.
Yes.
It was said for comedic effect. Please don't sue me.
Yeah. Any complaints? Address them to Gary Stuff at.
I beg to differ with that comment, but I will leave that for another day.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I shall catch up on the comments in a second. Just let me clean my brush.
Is that a euphemism?
No.
Yeah, then they want a dirty brush.
New.
Let me see if there's an update on my delivery.
Tim says, regarding Callum's files, I'll be happy to print and send to you, John, to save any international posting. That's brilliant. Thank you, Tim.
That'd be great, Timo.
Thanks, Timmy. I was quite happy to
very
send them to John, but
See, I knew Tim would be a valuable addition to the team.
yes.
Yeah. He's the new Marley. So, this would be my last show. You can all get stuff.
Yeah,
I'm doing
we
an
swapped,
Elon Musk.
we swapped him in for a younger model. We did a part exchange. GM says, Timmy and Paul, yes, it's a very good kit. I'm thinking of getting one as well as to go alongside the Korean War Corsair, C547 and Sea Furies. YouTube do list builds, etc. Drew says, Paul, you've reminded me to get a shingles vaccine. Apparently you should over 50 if you've had chickenpox. There we go. Ian says, practice one has just started at Silverstone.
Okay.
Bob says, if more printing capacity is required, mine is working overtime on PLA right now. Spare time is available. Oh, thank you very much, buddy. That's very kind of you.
So we get on.
Yeah. Julian says, the F1 is a lot more competitive this year. I think the introduction of the Halo was a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Well, that saves a couple of lives already, I believe.
Yeah. And it allows them to put more cameras in and things as well, doesn't it? Paul says, Julian, good idea, mate. Tim says, what an Australian sounding name, Gary. Bazza Sandleton. Skip Outback.
Bazza Sandleton.
Ian says, oh, loved Murray Walker and his Murrayisms.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
So funny.
Julie says, Murray Walker is a class act, e.g., there's nothing wrong with the car except it's on fire.
Yeah. Those famous words when Nigel Mansell only had to finish the race to win the World Championship. Murray Walker said, all he's got to do now is finish the race, and the second he finished speaking, the bloody engine blew.
Yeah. And he says, if I'm not very much mistaken, that's Patrese coming up behind. Yes, I'm very much mistaken. It's Arnoux.
Julie says, more Murray Walker quotes at this web address. Dogsaurus says, good morning, afternoon, people. Happy Independence Day to my fellow Americans. I hope everybody is having a good day.
Yeah.
Welcome. And he says, I need coffee. TBG says, happy Treason Day, Dorcosaurus. And Kevin says, I have returned. Wonderful. I was thinking, was it yesterday or last night, Gary, at Waitrose, that me and you were talking about classical music?
Last night.
Yeah. I was thinking this morning, right? I think it'd make a really good mindfulness exercise, because obviously scale modeling, a lot of it is relaxing because it's a mindful activity and things. And I think it'd make pretty good mindful activity for people if they, even if they don't like classical, well, they're not usually into classical music, because the way people who love classical music listen to it is very different to how most people listen to music.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd agree with me on that.
Definitely.
And for those that don't know what we're talking about, we don't pass it when we listen to classical music. Those of us who love it don't listen to music passively. We listen to the notes, the individual instruments, and things like that. And one of the really nice things you can do with classical music is to help you relax. Is you can visualize the orchestra by listening to them. So you listen to the music and you can visualize the different instruments being played as they're being played, some notes and things. I think that's a really nice, interesting activity to try and do.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, for me, it depends on which bit of music I'm listening to as well. There's some music that I listen to with quite a. Because I did study music quite a lot when I was younger. So there's bits, I won't say I'm listening to it on a technical level, but I can kind of appreciate or sit in awe of how the composer has achieved the sounds that are there.
Yeah.
And I can hear the different lines of the music and how they're combining. I thought, well, that's really clever. Dropping the basses down like a barber hump, and you get a sense of genius of the person who's come up with this in their head. There's a very famous bit from Mahler's Fifth Symphony, the Adagietto. It's used in Death in Venice, famously.
Yeah.
Which is a stunning piece. It was essentially a love poem Mahler had written to his wife in musical form. It's the most gorgeous piece, but the end of it is this series of chords of different parts of the orchestra dropping down lines at different times, and it just works so beautifully. But I can sit there and hear him. That's really clever. But there's other bits that he wrote, like the end of his Second Symphony, that I can only just sort of sit and listen to. It's so powerful and so involved and so overwhelming. I just have to sit there, and it's this glorious, glorious sound with a choir, organ. The whole thing is just this mass of sound that comes at you, and it's completely overwhelming and completely life-affirming, that you think if there's a universe where someone existed who could do that, then this universe can't be bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that just reminds you how good human beings can be when they try.
Yeah.
I love it. I love proper music for that reason. I love Status Quo for a similar reason.
Yeah.
But, you know,
well, one of the things I like
just
to do is, like this morning, I was listening to Vivaldi Four Seasons before I came on here.
Very lovely.
One of the things I like to do is visualize the orchestra as if I'm stood where the conductor would be, and I can just, when the violins start picking up, I can look at the violinists, and I can see the violins being played and things. I find that really relaxing.
What I would suggest you grab hold of a copy of, if you can, is you can get a recording of the Four Seasons, but it's interspersed with Four Seasons in Buenos Aires by the Argentinian composer Astor Piazzolla, who is definitely the greatest composer of tango music ever. And so you get the Italian beautiful Baroque description of spring, followed by spring in Buenos Aires, which is all sort of like sultry and tango, and that they sort of interspersed the two. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
really beautiful.
One of my favorite pieces is Palladio. I think part of that is because when I was in the county string orchestra as a teenager, because I used to play double bass, we played that a lot at concerts. And the other part is, because I've played it a lot, I can picture, I can hear the bass, and I can picture, and I can remember what it feels like to play the bass and do those movements and things. And it's just one of those, it's just one of those really powerful pieces of music that makes you want to move, as if you're playing the instrument and things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And welcome to Classic FM.
Yeah, I mean, many people do air guitar, but air double bass, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I used to enjoy it. I wish I would have been able to keep it up, but it's just too big an instrument to carry on after school.
Yeah.
Welcome to Classic FM.
Yeah.
35033 megahertz.
That's 35033 megahertz.
And for those hard of thinking, that's 35033 megahertz. So Waitrose doesn't know what we're talking about.
No, it's a joke that keeps on giving.
I got something of that because of the.
Of course, you were watching yesterday, weren't you?
Was it? Yeah, I was watching you yesterday with the big boy, and I think you were talking about the
kit number of the
Jeep, weren't you?
Yeah.
It's me a Jeep.
Yeah.
I heard you playing silly Watsits.
Bob says, has Magic Mikey decided what character Timmy would be? I jumped the gun a bit and thought a waterborne Australian equals crocodile, but quite prepared to do something. I think crocodile actually works quite well for him.
It'd be a salty.
I can imagine crocodile with long dark hair or something. That'd be funny. Ian says, Dorker's in. Check-in time. Hi, Dorkosaurus. Or checks time. Hi, Dorkosaurus. Apparently, I will learn to speak English at some point in the next 12 months.
As opposed to bollocks.
Yeah. Julian says, the Halo was, if I recall correctly, introduced after a driver was killed when a piece of wreckage hit him in the head. Opponents groused about visibility of drivers on TV. Safety won, thankfully. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I always think of Tim as a warbling tit.
Oh, that is harsh. God damn, that's harsh.
Yeah. And now he wonders why we're putting him in for part exchange. For a newer model. Columbus says, I must be watching the wrong live. These hosts sound way too cultured.
Oh, until that comment.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll bring it down.
Now.
I'll bring it back down to a suitable level in a second.
But I think that'd be a really interesting exercise for the viewers. It's over the weekend, when you get 5-10 minutes, just have a go at putting a piece of classical music on some headphones, closing your eyes, relaxing, and just visualizing the instruments being played, and you'll find it an interesting experience. No, she can't play music.
What?
She plays a few open chords and then jumps about on stage. That's about it. Yep, still not impressed. I prefer my lovely wife. Dorksaur says, laugh out loud, TBG. It's only treason if you're a tyrant. Paul says, Philip Glass's works are brilliant.
Oh, you're not wrong. Toyanas Katsi, Power Katsi. Oh, love them. On side on the beach. Good stuff.
Oh, there's one that I really like. It's a piano piece. I'll find it now. Oh, God, shut up, you uncultured oaf. Where is it? It's on my phone somewhere.
Actually, that used to be a musical joke doing the rounds was knock, 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 knock. Who's there? Philip Glass.
I get that.
Oh, you sound so pleased.
He understands a cultured joke. Ah.
In contemporary musical terms, contemporary as in living composers, my favourite very much is John Adams, the American writer who wrote great things like Death of Klinghoffer and Dr. Atomic, operas, Nixon in China, and things like that. And he's written some gorgeous choral music and some stunning symphonic music.
There you go.
Really, really cool.
There's a really nice piano piece. You can find it on YouTube. It's by a guy called John Murphy, and it's called Adagio in D minor.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. It's quite beautiful. Ian is laughing at Callum. Paul says, talking about you're back, modders. Awesome, thank you. Paul says, talking about classic Nativity in Black is worth a listen. Nice.
Nativity in Black.
Bob says, tango music, trying valiantly to resist slapping someone in the face. Oh, there you go. Ungve J. Malmsteen, or whatever his name is. Apparently, the J's to distinction from other Ungve Malmsteens, laugh out loud, is a classically trained rock guitarist. Yeah. Well, there's the Royal. What the hell is that noise? Morris.
That is a reciprocating sounder, I suspect.
Oh, I see.
I suspect Mr. Morris is having a sound.
He's having something. Yeah, the Rock Philharmonic Orchestra. That's a good one as well. In fact, they're playing at Rill in the next couple of months. Kay wants to go and watch them.
Uh-huh.
I'm slowly bringing her around to classical music. Yeah. GM says, Soothing Relaxation by Peter B. Holland, a Norwegian music composer. Peter and I often exchange ideas on music themes. Several of us here send film strips to Peter so he can include them in videos. There we go.
Cool.
TVD says, PC went mental, rebooting.
Yeah, love that band.
We still haven't heard Mr. Morris trying to say the full Plan via PG properly yet.
And you never will.
Hey, Waitrose did it last night. He had to go. He's the only one.
I haven't officially been banned from.
I doff my cap to him. I am but a humble dwarf.
Oh, no! I spilled a bit of paint, but not on the model, so it's all good.
I'm very pleased for you, John. June says, is that 3305 megahertz? It is.
Yes, that's 35055.
Yeah. TVG says that's 35055, Mikey. Yes.
I think maybe I'm saying the wrong thing. I better check.
Bob says 35033 is twice as good for me. Yes, I've got two coming. Whoops. Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
He's done it again.
Yeah.
God, it is 35033. You say something often enough and you will remember it. Wish I knew all my daughter's names.
Julian says, afternoon TBG. TBG says, hi, Julian. Julian says, is a warbling tit related to the great tit or the blue tit?
Well, it's probably a bit in between.
It's the nephew of the greater Australian tit.
Well,
yeah. Bob says, Julian, depends on the wind and the temperature.
That's funny, Gary.
Yeah, read that one. Julian says, Murray Walker, the lead car, is unique, except for the one behind it, which is identical. Julian says, the colour of tit, you mean, Bob?
Sake.
Bob says, usually just the tip of the tit. Oh, dear
Just
God.
a tip.
Bob says, thinks we'd better duck before getting tiffed up. Paul says, Nativity in Black is a tribute to Sabbath by all the world's best metal bands. Nice. I'll try to listen to that. Ozzy Ian's in. He says, happy Friday, everyone. Hello, Ozzy Ian.
Hey, Ozzy Ian. How the devil are you, sir?
Yeah. GM says, please don't show Taylor Swift anymore. I'm not a fan. Her company regularly asks us on film to film her concerts, and I decline everything.
Well, I think she's ace.
Only because you'll find her attractive.
No, I just think she's a nice person.
How do you know? You've never met her. You just like her butt.
But what?
Haha. June says, megahertz or kit numbers. What colour would the rockets have been, John?
What rocket? These
colour.
rockets? Various.
Yeah.
It's the
The
same colour
RP3s.
as, colour as the underneath.
No, they're slightly lighter.
Which ones? Which ones are you talking about?
These?
No,
Oh,
they
those
are.
ones.
They're the Sky.
Yeah, that's Rato. Yeah, I don't know. I've not seen them in the flesh.
There you go. They're a different colour.
I don't know.
They're a lot lighter. So I'm thinking either they might be white or something. White and black.
White as shaded pale.
Judy says, Gary, are you calling him a tit?
Yes, and not subtly. It was funny.
I frequently do.
Tiff says, I'm not going to hurt anyone, Bob, unless asked. Modders. Julian says, back in a mode, Kara here. Okay, old boy.
Very good.
Pip, pip, boulders, here I lie.
Forgive me if I mispronounce this. Gino Lassen says, hello, everyone in the panel and chat. Greetings from Belgium. Hello, Gino.
Greetings,
Hello,
Gino.
Belgium.
Welcome to the channel.
Welcome. Good to see you here, mate.
I'm shaking my paint. It's not a dodgy sound. Honest. David says, ooh, Tiff. Tiff's playing on the phone because I'm watching. She's in the background. No, not that site. You can't watch that site. Not when you're on stream. No, scroll past. No, take those videos off, modders. I don't want to see them. I'm too young for that.
You're on John's OnlyFans page again.
I don't know. But it didn't look like John. The three of them, none of them look like John. Modders, concentrate. We've just read that comment. David says, hello, Gino. Thank you, Modders. I'm only messing. Bob says, Mikey, you have permission to show characters, but beware, they still have support structures in place concealing a lot. Yeah, so.
Oh, we've got to go through the rigmarole of sharing screens now.
No, I can do it on my phone, mate.
I fell asleep last time.
That's because you're old as fuck.
That's ageist.
No, saying you're a dirty old man is ageist. Okay, so
What's that?
he's 3D printed the kangaroo and the
Oh,
crocodile.
the roo.
Yeah,
That's the bloody roo.
Oh, wow.
which is super cute.
Don't tell
I
him
like
that.
it. And if I scroll back, there's Waitrose and there's Gary,
Oh, look at them.
the monkey and the lion.
They're cool.
Look at this. Look at the ears on Waitrose. Oh.
Liz.
But he had a little bit of a problem when it came to Beardy and,
Modders.
well, I think it was more of the just Beardy one. He printed it off originally and it was too small. So he tried to make it a little bit bigger and did that. But I think that big one looks really cool. And I actually wouldn't mind having that on my windowsill or something. That'd be really cool. Thank you, Modders. GM says, Mr. Morris, Rato rocket bodies are light grey. Outer box frames are usually light grey. Instructions should indicate the colour. Yeah.
No, it doesn't, believe it or not.
See, I was right. Paul says, guess what? I was cleaning out one of my desks last night. I found 3 ticket stubs from a lifetime ago. Ah, cool. Cool. Ooh, there we go. Aircraft grey should do it. Light aircraft grey. Bob says, when OnlyFans grow up, do they become wind turbines?
That's what I don't know whether people can see, but there you go. That's what I was going by. Hang on, let me focus.
Have you ever seen Jeff Dunham?
Yeah.
And Peanut?
Yeah.
Right. When I read that joke out of Bob, then this is sort of how it went for Gary. Nyong! What is? It went nyong! Straight over his head.
You've got a drinking problem? No, I ain't got no problem.
I'll switch my camera back down then. Now that I've made a silly noise.
Good afternoon, infidels.
Silence! I kill you! TVG says, and I'm back. Hello, TVG. Welcome back. Tiff says, of course you like the big one, Mikey. Steady. Tiff says, sorry, you clicked on yours at the same time. I clicked the turn Gary's close-up on. Dear me. And Ian says, hello, James. So we've had quite a varied discussion today. It's been quite good. Wait, Rose, did you see the model of you?
I did very briefly. I'm sorry I had to dive off. Maria came in pointing out that she'd actually deleted her entire email file from her computer and the server. So expecting me to be able to do something about it.
I shall show you. I'll show you now so you can see it properly.
Okay.
Right, modders. Zip. It might be easier if I just do stuff like that, just do hand signals stuff, rather than me clicking on it and modders getting confused. There you go. So if I focus that. Oh, stupid thing. There you go.
Right, and that is a what?
A little monkey. It's 3D print.
Right.
A little ape.
Yeah. It's
there's Gary the lion.
Okay. Thinking Gary came off definitely a bit better there.
Where is it? Oh, there you go. And there's Tim the crocodile and Gary, John the kangaroo.
Very good.
About Marley the kangaroo. And he had a little bit of trouble with doing Beardy. He printed that one off and then thought it was too small and made it a little bit bigger, and it went to that.
Okay. Just a little bit bigger then. Okay.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Excellent.
He's doing them for us, which is really cool.
Excellent. Good show.
Jim says, who's the fox character I see on show startup? I'm a tubby white cat with orange blobs. So say family cartoonists. That is Mal, who comes on a Monday.
Yeah.
The old fox. Hobby Time says, hi, guys.
Hobby Time.
Hobby Time says, hi, James. And hi, Hobby Time, by the way. And Gino says, these look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're I've just realised I'm still out of focus. There you go.
Well, you've always had problems keeping focus, haven't you? Paul says, put my he's found the ticket stubs for 70.
You tell me I have problems with focus, and you've gone and Paul said, "Oh, poor pies."
Poor pies. Paul says 71 Stones, 72 Jethro Tull, and David Bowie in 81. Cool.
Wow.
That is a pretty good good lineup there.
And surprisingly, I've heard of them.
But they'd never heard of you.
Hey, you never know. They might secretly watch the channel.
I don't think Bowie does.
No.
No. It's all right. I don't like their music anyway.
Bless him. You don't like Bowie?
And you don't get wound up.
Jesus.
You haven't noticed that sometimes I say these things just to get a reaction out of you? Because I know you're the one that'll jump on it.
Right.
Now
I
then,
have made a thing.
Irritating.
I've made rocket pods. They've got to be sprayed gloss so I can decal them. The
Gino
prop.
says,
Go on.
Gino says, Mikey, is your Discord group private or is it possible to join? It is private, but it's open to anyone who watches the channel. Models will put the link in when she gets a second.
Yep. You're very welcome to come along and partake in.
Yeah, just don't
frivolous
expect to see
activity.
John there.
Take part in the frivolous activities and wild antics that occur on there.
Yeah. Junior says, back.
Front.
There you go. I knew that was going to come up. TVG says, hi, Gordon.
Hi, Gordon.
TVG says, hi, friends. Tiff says, here is the Discord link. TVG says,
Discord link is gone.
yes. TVG says, Darth Modders. And Gino says, okay, thank you, Tiff. There you go.
There we go.
There we go.
We have got a short list of rules on that. It's not anything restrictive. It's just, basically don't take offense to things because those of us who run it are veterans and we don't really do getting offended. But also be respectful of things. All the usual crap.
Unless it's John.
Yeah, then we just say F you to the moon because he never does.
Right. I need to know where I am here because I'm losing. Unusually for me, I'm losing the plot slightly.
Oh, yes?
Why is that unusual?
Exactly. I'm just trying to work out where I am. I think. Ooh.
Julie says left, right, centre, etc.
I may be at a point
go
for
on.
sprayage. So I'm just looking. I may be at a point for sprayage.
Ooh.
So I'm going to have to cut out some bits and pieces to. Right then. Right.
Now then.
Then now.
Mm.
Now then. Now then. Now then. Now.
Tiff says, no worries, Gino. Paul says, one of the best was Status Quo, Lindisfarne, and Slade.
Whoa, Lindisfarne. They were good.
Quo. Epic.
My mum and stepdad went to watch Quo once when I was a kid. I think it was at Manchester.
Seen the mighty Quo several times. Always excellent.
Yep.
I haven't. They retired by the time I was old enough to go and watch anything.
They didn't
like
retire. Rick Parfitt died.
Well, yeah.
I'd say that's pretty permanent retirement, wouldn't you?
Extreme retirement.
What's his name still
That's
going?
the rock and roll way of retiring, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah, but what's his name still going, isn't he?
Yeah.
Francis Rossi. He is
Francis
indeed.
Rossi, he's still going.
Yeah, he did an episode with Pete Warsman, didn't he, about building a train set in his house?
He did.
Rock and or roll.
Yeah.
Rock and roll music. Yeah.
GM says, we filmed Motorhead in Germany singing David Bowie's We Can Be Heroes. We all thought it was very funny and very entertaining.
Tune.
Gino says, no problem. Timmy says, welcome, Gino. It's a great community here. Oh, thanks, Tim.
A little bit mad.
Yes. We do 4 live streams a week. Well, depending on whether you're a member, because members get an additional live stream each month where you get to have your input and say on the channel. And obviously I help with Wait Rose's live streams as well. which we had last night, and the next one is on the 15th, Gary.
That sounds plausible.
You
The third
expect
Tuesday,
me to know?
Third Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, so the 15th.
Oh, I was going to sing then. Oh, just stop me some.
Crisis averted.
I was
You
going to
would
do a
have
pro tune as well.
You would have incurred the wrath of modders if you had.
Alrighty.
We really make modders sound awful on this, don't we? Incur the
She
wrath of modders.
No, to be fair, she is the voice of reason.
Yes, she's the reason that we go mental when she's not here.
And we all have to,
For proof of this, see last Friday's stream. See Fury's stream. We were roundly told off when we all came up. Julie says, "Is everyone thrilled at the Oasis reunion? Nope, me either. In my honest opinion, only to boost their pension funds before they get too old to tour and perform. Well, yeah, that's the idea. That's why bands do tours." Paul says, "For your information, it cost $3.50 for the Stones in '71. Wow. Yeah, but that's about £2,000 now, isn't it? Adjusted for inflation." David says, "Just done ID flashes on the Whippet. Done with hairy stick to give impressions of crew work as opposed to the workshop job. Nice. Make sure you post pictures up in the Discord, buddy." GM says, "Rick passed in 2016. Alan Lancaster 2 years ago. Been a long time fan and friends of Quo since 1972. Alan lived near me when I was at RAF Richmond. I saw him a week before he passed." Yeah.
Alan Lancaster, who famously left Quo when they released Margarita Time. He said it's not rock and roll anymore, and he left. And he was right.
Judy says, "Yep, Gary's next live stream is 15th of July. There we go. How do we know your live stream is better than you do?
Because I
he's
haven't
the
changed
star.
my wall. I haven't changed my wall calendar yet.
He's the star, and you're just the backroom staff.
Oh, fuck you to the moon." TVG says, "There'd be choking sounds coming from Mr. Morris if he'd upset Darth Modders." Yeah, it'd be like The Simpsons, wouldn't it? Oh, that sounds like agonal breathing, and I've seen somebody have that. Agonal breathing is basically the brain's last-ditch attempt at trying to get air into the body, oxygen into the body.
And your point is what?
It's like the final sounds of death. It's what is literally the death rattle. That's what the sound is. It's agonal breathing.
Maybe that's what it is. You keep telling me I'm old.
Well, quite possibly. Your mum has already measured you up for a wooden overcoat.
Absolutely. The wooden overcoat is on order.
Yeah. David said lots of people lost bets on if it would have happened. Huh?
Oasis reunion, I think.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
A band that pushed out a couple of bangers and then a load of drivel.
I thought that was their mum.
Most overrated band ever.
Yeah. David says, "Will do, Mikey." Good man. June says, "My point is, Mikey, the Gallaghers claim they reconciled. I think the reunion is money related, not any reconciliation." Yeah.
Most definitely is money related.
Yeah.
And I still say Robbie Williams could knock Liam Gallagher out with one punch.
Robin Williams could have knocked Liam Gallagher out with one punch.
In fact, Maisie Williams could knock Liam Gallagher out with one punch.
Yeah.
I've done a thing.
GM says, Alan started a new band with Medieu. Lancaster Bombers was a regular fun night out. There we go.
Sorry? Alan?
Alan
Starr.
Lancaster, the bassist from Quo.
Oh, okay, right.
Um,
With Midgua.
Ultravox.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, Vienna.
The Sound of 81.
Yeah.
Vienna. Ultravox.
The co-writer of Do They Know It's Christmas?
Indeed so.
Indeed it is, sir.
Oh, that really annoying song from the 80s.
That really annoying guy from Wales.
I almost laughed. Bob says, death rattle when a baby gets stroppy and throws one out the pram rapidly.
Throwing one out the pram normally meant something else.
It's not a euphemism. Don't worry. June says, yeah.
Over there.
Where is my... Oh, Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, yes?
I've lost me...
Mojo?
I've lost me huge roll of masking tape. Where have I put that? Somewhere safe, I hear you say.
Yeah. June says, life equals you're born, what the fuck, and then you die.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Woof. What was that?
Bob says, shit. Hit caps lock mid-sentence again. Not a problem. Tim says, I heard John was making a detour from Telford to knock Liam Gallagher out. I thought it was for a certain YouTuber. He's going to knock a certain YouTuber out. That's the rumour. He's going to knock him out of Telford.
What have I done wrong now?
No, John.
We all know who you're talking about, but
he said the other week he's going to knock a certain YouTuber out.
I did not.
Yeah, what have I done wrong?
It's a lie, a dirty stinking lie.
Julie says, I do that a lot, Bob. Then when I delete and retype it, it's full of typos. Don't worry, we're used to you.
I don't think that's going to work, actually. Oh!
Okay, so
A needle pulling thread?
These would be aluminium or steel. Aluminium wheel
Aluminum.
hubs. Yeah. Oh, that's right. 4th of July. It's aluminum.
Hey, Gino's just joined the server. Welcome, Gino.
Gino.
EM says the Gallagher brothers had to deal with both very drunk on a flight. Took 6 of us to drag them down to the forward hold and cuff them up. Pair of total drop kicks. Yep, I couldn't agree more. I think
just open the door and chuck them out.
A couple of great songs, and everything else they do is just based on being a dick.
Tim
says it's his new vlog series, Fighting Around the World with John Marley.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
What he's doing is he's going to go to Telford because he knows there's YouTubers from all over the world there, and he's just going to see how many he can knock out before he gets kicked out.
Yeah, something like that.
Tiff says, I think you'll find it's pronounced tin.
I think, around the back of Telford, 2027, there'll be a square circle put out, and
oh no, we're gonna have a proper bear pit with sand in the bottom of it.
Telford Fight Club.
Yeah, we'll have to have 2 bars. We'll have to have 2 bars at Telford that year. One outside for the fight.
Yeah, it's going to be. Have you ever watched the film where Robert Downey Jr. plays Sherlock?
Yes. Yeah.
The fight in the bear pit in that Where
Yeah.
they've got like wooden walls and they're all stood there around the wooden walls
I
watching.
can just see Mr. Childs at headquarters M4H now frantically typing out an email to me saying, "You are not representing Models for Heroes at Telford 2027." Unless you sell tickets.
Yes. Unless you raise money for Models for Heroes, you're not doing this.
Bloody hell, Gary, that looks good.
Finished.
That really does
Holy
look
crap.
good.
Let's
Can we thank you very
There you
much.
go.
That is really nice, mate.
yeah.
Thank
Wow.
you, teacher.
Well done, Gary.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Very nice.
What a lovely kit to make, though. What a lovely, lovely kit to make. Really enjoyed this.
So what colour red, or because it looks sort of orange on the screen?
It's red. It is red. It's just the whatever reasons. It's bloody red.
Bloody
from
red.
Vallejo Game Code, because it looked the most like the Airfix whatever is it 11? Their gloss red or whatever, or 19.
Quite
I
close
can't
to the
remember.
Red Arrow red, isn't it? Which is
It is, yeah. That's what I
bit of
thought.
or-
It's
bit of
supposed
orange
to
in it.
be 19 gloss bright red, and to my eye, that obviously it's different with the lighting here and yada. But that actually does look really like proper red.
Yeah.
A nice rich mid red, as you say, very much like Red Arrow's red, actually. Bloody red.
And how did you find that for spraying that Vallejo game color?
Really easy. What I did do, I bought some, and this is not a product placement because I'm not being paid for this. I bought some of this stuff, this Ultimate
All right.
Air and Brush
yeah?
thinner from UMP, and with it comes I'll take it off, a little, well, actually I think it costs about 50p. There's a little mixing chart, and they've done experiments for your first good guess at mixing ratios with all these different manufacturers.
Oh wow.
So with model color, they reckon about 70% thinner.
Right.
So, but I actually started with about 50-50 thinner to paint, and it just went straight on beautifully.
Yeah.
Really well. There's no panel line stuff gone on here. You can see all the panel lines.
Yeah.
All of that's all there. It hasn't sort of filled it in too much or anything like that. Yeah, it's nice. And then just a bit of which SMS varnish just over the top.
Cool.
So yeah,
Nice work.
Lovely finish to it.
very happy
Yeah.
with that.
Beautiful job.
Yes, you should be, mate.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
Thank you
Well
so
done,
much.
sir.
It's better than John's.
Yes.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that. It's not a competition.
Columbus Model says
Everybody's
Exacto blades at 3 paces. Oh yes. Go for your spray gun. Who goes first? Yeah. Joe says Treason Day menu ready for today's barbecue. All American hot dogs, burgers, and the rest of my Tex-Mex stuffed beef fajitas, and a big load of charro beans. Knock the bar on the bathroom door when you walk in. Oh, that sounds amazing.
It does.
And Julian says, why is a boxing ring actually square? Well, there you go. It's called the square circle.
Because have you ever tried doing elasticated ropes in a circle? They don't hold up well. They don't curve particularly.
Nay, says, I'm here for a tilly and to paint models, and I'm all out of models. Forgive me. What's a tilly?
Fight.
Oh, right.
Fight.
Okay.
Fight.
Gina says, nice work, Gary. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
As ever, Mr. Evans knocks it out the park again. And Tiff says, where's the pilot? Well, he's not in it because it's on the ground.
Yeah. God, come
He's
on,
having
models.
a poo. He's having a pre-flight poo.
He's emptying his pee bag, pee bottle.
Or as to quote Mikey, he's gone off on a bombing run.
Yes.
And David says, put updates on Whippet in Discord.
Excellent.
Julian says
cool.
that looks fab, Gary. It does.
Thank you, Julian.
TBG says cool, Gary.
Go.
David says, wow, that looks great. And Julian says, in the canteen, Tiff, lol. And GM says, Mikey, we have a Korean girl metal rock band, only one, by the name of Rolling Quartz. The girls are constantly touring and are very good. Can send you video links we have filmed.
Yeah, go for it. I like rock music.
Julian says, I thought thinner paint ratios depended on local conditions, humidity and heat. Yeah, but you can adjust your...
Yeah, these are just there to give you a good first crack at it, and then you can have a look and think, now it doesn't quite look right.
There. You're quite right. It does depend on local conditions, humidity, heat, and the airbrush you're using as well. You know,
absolutely.
Sometimes I'm convinced it's whether there's an R in the month and all, but yeah, it gives you a starting point. I mean, most people go 50-50 and take it from there anyway.
Yes.
GM says, Mr. Evans, really very nice. A red Spitfire next, lol. Who's done the red Spitfire? Someone's done that.
Me.
Mikey's done one.
Yeah.
But I did it silver with M4H decals on.
Yeah, that's right. Tiff says it's high tension steel cables.
Yeah.
I thought Tilly was Jill Martison's sister in Goldfinger. Oh, Jill Masterson. Yes. Is that the one that
off now?
Was it Tilly or Jill that got odd job whopped her head off with his hat?
That I can't remember.
Timmy says, looks great, Gary. I'm a big fan of Vallejo paints. Great products. I have some of their Model Air, and I quite like them. Didn't at first, but I've understand them now. So I'm considering, because there's Model Air, isn't there? There's Game Color.
There is.
And there's Metal Color as well.
Is there just one
Model
called
Color?
Model
Game
Color.
Air.
Yeah.
Game Extra Opaque. Panzer Races.
Yes.
And they do loads of sets as well.
Yeah.
And they're pretty cheap. I think a set of Metal Color ones cost me about 20 quid.
Yeah.
And you get 8 bottles in it.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
Paul says he's back again. Memsaab needed an Earl Grey and a hobnob.
Ah.
I've got the new gallery paint colours on their way soon.
Oh, wow.
Some of them anyway. People who make the airbrushes are doing their own paint range now. So we'll see how those go.
Yes, you're quite right, Julian. Tilly was already dead when we met Jill, and Jill was painted gold. Of course she was. There's also the shifters from Vallejo, says Tiff. Oh, yes, of course they are.
Oh, yeah, I want to get some of them, actually.
Yeah, it's good if you're doing cars, isn't it? And motorbikes. Yeah. We don't do many cars and motorbikes.
I've got to do another Pink Panther Land Rover, apparently.
Why?
Because we were in Chester Model Centre yesterday. I couldn't decide what model I wanted, so I said to my daughter, I know you're not interested in models, but pick a model kit up to 30 quid and I'll make it for you. And she went, okay, I like that one. I said, why'd you like that one? She went, it's pink. And I went, okay, I will make you a Pink Panther Land Rover. I said, how pink do you want it? She went, as pink as you can get it. And I went, squid pink? And she went, yeah, that'll do.
See, I did my granddaughter a model. She wanted the Norwegian 737 with Freddie Mercury on the tail.
Yeah.
So I got some aftermarket. I had the Zvezda 737 kit and got aftermarket decals for it.
She's a girl with taste.
She is. Well, I say that she's quite heavily into the Arctic monkeys now.
Oh. Well, you can't have everything, I suppose. Everyone has their flaws.
Yes. Well, I've got.
I thought Marley was quiet. He's muted.
Yes, he's muted.
That was unusual. I thought he was unusually quiet.
I'm chewing. I'm enjoying my gay time.
He's
Oh, dear.
Oh, this is so good. I'm enjoying my game time.
So
dear.
now that you've finished the Sea Fury, Gary, are you going to keep coming on, or are you taking a break until we do the Yag?
Well, I'll probably come along and just do whatever's happening. I'm putting markings onto the Spitfire at the moment.
Cool.
But yeah, I can't do Monday, by the way. I can't do Monday because we're going up to granddaughter's graduation.
Yes.
Traveling up there on Monday.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Enjoy that.
Yeah, it should be fun, actually.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. I'm having a new suit. The suit's being delivered this
Ooh.
afternoon.
Is it tailored?
No.
Tailored Swifted.
Oh, don't.
No.
My nephew graduates, I think, next week. He from Liverpool
Excellent.
University. He's got a 2-2, is it? 2-2? He'll kill me.
Desmond.
He'll kill me if I've got it wrong, but he's a zoologist now. There's letters after his name.
He did invite Gary to go and watch, but Gary told him to go shove it up his ass.
No. His mum's going to it. With his mum and
So
dad.
what do you mean a 2-2? It's in like a
Desmond 2-2, a 2-2. It's
The
a grade.
classifications of degree are first class, upper second, which is a 2-1, lower second, which is a 2-2, or a third class.
I thought you were talking about like a ballet skirt.
That's why they call it Desmond.
So I've got a Desmond 2-2.
Yeah.
I'm
Richard
just too much
III.
Julian's foot. Sorry.
Paul
Um,
says
Paul,
this is my
can see
step
what Paul-
ladder. Didn't know my real ladder.
Julian says, congrats to them both, gays. I think you mean Gary's. We've got 26
Whoa.
people watching. Hey,
now John's in.
There's morning, guys. Morning, John.
Morning, John. Or afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world.
Well, he's American, so it's morning for him.
Happy Treason Day.
Yeah. We've got 26 people watching. Don't forget to lube and subscribe,
Yeah. Especially
as we
if
say on here.
no, I'm not going to say that.
For people that are new to the channel, we've not explained this for a while. The reason we say lube and subscribe is because we used to say like and subscribe, but someone kept kicking off saying that we shouldn't keep saying it because it was annoying. So we changed it. It's silly.
And we
So
haven't
because
had
we're
a complaint since.
It
Because
lends
we're
itself
childish and
well,
immature.
yeah, and it lends itself well to innuendo. Julie says, "Fuck's sake, sorry, Gary." Tiff says 18 lubes.
Lovely.
25 people watching, 18 lubes. John says, Gary Sea Fury looks cool.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Unlike ours, which looks.
Unlike ours, which are still in the process of, yeah.
To be fair, it did start like 3 weeks before or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I went away
Zoom in a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks.
Now he's back.
And he's obviously just a better modeler then.
Well,
Just a model making machine.
that goes without saying.
But to be fair, you do make a few each week.
I don't actually make that many. That's the problem at the moment. I don't get to make that many. I do a lot of reviews of kits, but I actually don't make very many, and it's really bugging me. It gets me down.
Oh.
No, don't let it get you down, buddy.
There you go.
Yay.
Always looks better when you start putting the national decals on.
I know it's going back to what you were saying then, Gary. I know it's different for you because it is your work, it is your livelihood.
Mm.
You know, so it's easy for me to
It
sit
is.
here and say, "Oh well, it doesn't matter, does it?" Because it does to you.
It does slightly.
You've got
But,
bills
you know,
and what have you.
there's worse things to do in life.
Yeah. Before we go on the comments, Moggy, I was going to tell you, you know CapCut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great band.
Well, they update their terms and conditions the other day, and
Right.
now if you upload anything on there, then that's basically giving them consent to use any of your content, any of the people in it, images of any of the people in it, any of the names, any of the branding, any of the audio or anything in any of their, for whatever purpose they want, anywhere worldwide, without giving you royalties. And however, you still maintain the copyright. So if they get taken to court for copyright issues, you'd be the one held responsible.
Right.
So we need to find an alternative to
I
CapCut.
think I'll be
Yeah,
looking. Thinking I'll be
I
looking.
was going to say, from my years of copyright law in the photo industry, my first response to that was, well, up yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My second reaction would be Unfair Contract Terms Act 1977, under which a lot of that would be thrown out of court.
Yeah.
And my third thing, it was you're trying to get people to hand over rights and stuff that they don't own, that they may have licensed. So you cannot do that in a contract. So stuff you guys.
Goodbye,
Forget
CapCut.
it. Go somewhere else.
It was nice
that's
knowing you,
ridiculous.
but up your hoop.
That is entirely ridiculous.
So yeah, so I'm either gonna, I've got to find some way of doing the animations for the intros and stuff, because people seem to like them.
Okay, that's a.
I mean, if needs be, I could probably use the Photoshop on my laptop, but that's just overly
There'll be
complicated.
something out there.
Yeah, I'll have a look. You know, I might get my laptop out and just have a go play with the animation thing on the Photoshop to see what it's like.
I might be able to play around with my new tablet when it gets delivered this afternoon. So
yeah, well, there you go. It gives you a purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it was Viagra you ordered, wasn't it?
Oh
no,
don't give in Viagra.
I had a nice letter from the taxman.
Apparently, the only reason Gary needs Viagra is to stop him rolling out of bed. Paul says, no matter where you go, there you are.
Now, it's funny you mention that, Mikey, because I do actually have something attached to the bed that stops me falling out.
Marion.
No.
Yeah. Have you seen the size difference, John? If Gary falls out of bed attached to Marion's going out the bed.
Marion's dead.
Marion's going flying across the room. Poor woman. Either that or getting flattened. John says, Moin is a Platt Dutch greeting, learning some of it.
Platt Deutsch.
Because it's what my grandfather spoke. There we go. I'm Welsh, so I tried to learn my own language again.
Buckaroo Banzai.
There we go.
Wow.
John says, thanks for the happy wishes for the 4th. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Tiff says, just realised how chunky my things are on camera. Bless you. Gino says, is the TR9 from Airfix good, Gary? Yeah, he said it's probably the best Spitfire kit they've ever done. Yeah. And the Spitfire kit, you know, they've made enough Spitfire kits now that they shouldn't be getting things wrong on them. I mean, they bring a new one out every bloody week.
And why do they do that?
Because they sell.
Because they sell.
Because people are crazy enough to buy them. Not sure I like this. I like the RF light aircraft grey for these. It's not different.
For the pods, for the rockets.
Yeah, they're not different enough to the RF Sky.
I'm going to do mine RF Sky.
I'm not going to have any stores on mine. I'm going to keep it clean.
That's because you're boring.
Yep.
GM says, if you have a legal firm, get them to slam that idiot company with a copy of the 1977 law on that subject. Too many American companies try that garbage on us and they fail every time. Yeah. And this is the problem. CapCut is a Chinese company, but they think that their law applies worldwide. No, it doesn't.
What can I say?
Copyright laws in the EU and the UK are very, very different.
However, I'm sure they're not quaking in their boots with our threat to walk.
No. But they are losing a lot of people over it.
Well, look at Photo Bucket. They killed themselves, didn't they?
Yeah. John says, John, I like the blue.
Thank you. So do I.
Yeah, looks good. Yeah, well. Yeah, well, I guess I'll pay on that. Gino says, that's true. Yeah. David says, yes, Gino, I think the same on the T9 Spitfire. GM says Chinese-American losses. Yeah. They've lost a lot of customers over it. Including me.
Yeah, that'll show them.
Yeah.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Well.
It's a shame because it was a good program, CapCut.
Yeah. The only problem I had with it was, before that, was every few days they would put an update in, and every time they did an update, less and less was available for free.
Yeah.
Every time you use some, like there's parts where I'd use a certain effect in an intro, and then a few days later, after I'd save it, then a few days later, when I went to do another video using the same effect, it was behind a paywall.
Yeah.
That was annoying.
Well, it's the bait that's on the hook that gets you in there, and then when they've got you.
Yeah. Well, I might just use Photoshop because I've got the photographer's package anyway. So I get everything on that.
It's the ease of use that some of us need.
Yeah.
By some of us, I mean me.
I'll have a look at VN as well because apparently that's supposed to be good.
VN.
It's similar to CapCut. Well, it's more beginner friendly.
Okay. It's going to take a while.
Actually, I think once that dries, it should look all right. Mr. Markham says, cannot legislate against stupidity. Can whack stupidity into a brick wall, though. It's a daily fight here with idiots.
Huh.
Yeah. That's a weird sound. John says, did the Sea Fury survive past World War II like the Sky Raider, P-38 and Mustang? Went to the Intrepid in New York and saw one. I'm sure that they all used the Rolls-Royce Merlin.
I'm sure they used Sea Furies in Korea.
Sea Fury didn't enter service until just after World War II. And they survived, certainly, yes, they were serving in Korea in 50, 51, 52. And they used the Bristol Centaurus engine.
Centaurus, sleeve valve.
Gorgeous 18-cylinder Bristol Centaurus radial.
Nice.
Yeah, about
Cal-
2,500 horsepower, something like that.
Cal Northeast says, I have three 1970s Airfix Spitfires, 172nd JEJ kits. Quick, easy build. However, I find myself taking ages. Laugh out loud. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with taking ages.
No, take your time, enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
JEJ is
Johnny Johnson's.
Johnny Johnson's.
Yes.
Lovely.
John says, except for the Sky Raider. There we go.
Mhm.
Julian says, even duct tape can't fix stupidity. However, it can muffle it. That's true.
That spit's looking lovely.
It's not looking too bad.
Yeah, Mr. Evans, he does push out a good model.
Well, we try. We try our best.
Far better than us mere amateurs.
I'm just an ordinary model maker.
I am but a humble dwarf.
See, that's why we invite Gary on, so we can learn from him.
No, don't be daft.
Carl says, I love the Airfix 172 Sky Raider. So many weapons. Sounds cool. David says, my 124th will be in JJ's colours. Nice.
I'd love to do a 124th Spitfire, but I haven't got the room for it.
Yeah, I was looking at them yesterday.
I mean, Christ, I'm supposed to be building a 1/18th Zero, and I don't know where I'm going to put that when it's finished.
I've got to start mine yet.
Well, I've been talking to the boys at our face-to-face group, and I'm going to start taking it down there, working on it down there.
Yeah.
Then maybe Mr. Childs will stop dropping hints.
John says, Carl, they did a toilet bomb on a Sky Raider.
Yes, that's true. They did, John.
Oh, that's right. They did.
They put you can actually get a model kit of the Sky Raider with the toilet as on the stores.
Gino says, I'm a beginner in modelling, so there will be questions. That's
No
absolutely
problem.
fine, mate. We always endeavour to answer questions as best we can.
You've got to start somewhere, and
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still there.
So for those who haven't seen it, this is the Sky
It is.
Raider. Massive thing with a toilet bomb.
That's funny.
Because they could.
Yeah. That's funny. GM says, Julian, haha, yeah, have duct taped a few drop kicks to poles, fences, and police car. That was funny to watch the police deal with them. Hee. John says, a terrible way to treat a toilet.
Yeah.
Carl says, I will never be a professional kit builder, but I love doing my best. That's what it's all about. We're not professional.
Well, exactly. The
We're not
only
professional. We just have-
professional one amongst us, because he does it for a living,
Yes, he does it for a profession.
is Mr. Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm more my profession, if you like, is the YouTube bit as
Yeah.
opposed to the model making bit.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So I'm a YouTuber by profession. It happens to be about making models. So I would never class myself as a professional modeler.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, I could
Whereas
jump across
for
the
me-
booth again, but I think I'll just wait and do it off screen. By the time I set up, I'll be pinching up.
For me, it's more of a paid hobby.
For me, it's to help my mental health.
Yeah, and hopefully we help with that. Not make it worse.
Did you see me 2 hours ago?
Yeah, you were rather stressed out, weren't you?
Well, that wasn't modelling, that was technology.
Yes.
Well, that'd do it to the best of us, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, now my leg's bleeding.
Uh, GM says, "You're right.
Yeah, it's just one of me.
Do you need a minion plaster?"
No. Oh, it's actually dried, so it was bleeding earlier.
GM says, "I saw a kitchen sink attached to another aircraft." There we
Wow.
I wonder what that was.
go. Tiff says, "We have a few new beginners here, Gino, myself included." Gino, sorry. Questions are always welcome. Yeah, Tiff's a beginner. In fact, she entered the beginners category of the competition that we had. 28 people watching. Ooh.
And the Discord is a great place to ask the questions.
Yeah, do have a look around there. We've got a few different channels on there that you can join in. If it gets too busy or you're getting too many notifications, you can mute channels that you're not interested in, or you can mute the server and you'll be able to go in and see what's going on and interact and everything. You just won't get pinged whenever somebody comments in a channel, in that channel.
I'm going to move across there.
Joe says, after the Charo beans today, I will need that toilet bomb. George Davis is in. He says, hi all. Hey, George.
Hey, George. I thought you were working, mate. John says, I remember the USS Robin. They had to refit the Victorious so it could handle US equipment. How interchangeable was the equipment in World War II, and was that the base for NATO? Good point. I think lessons from World War II certainly influenced how NATO was designed.
Yeah.
For instance, you got the NATO standard rounds and things like that, the 5.56.
The NATO standard brew.
Yeah. So I think, they learned the lessons from World War II, I think, and World War One. Although it took them a while to learn those ones. Scott says, not only did the Sky Raider have a toilet bomb, but also dropped a kitchen sink bomb. The loo bomb was in Vietnam. The sink was in the Korean War. There we go. Nice bit of info, Scott. Well done.
Was the kitchen sink done just for PR to say, hey, we're throwing the whole kitchen sink at it, or something stupid like that?
Probably.
Do you think? Yeah. And
Gino
over in
said,
Korea, the Americans are even throwing the kitchen sink at the enemy. That I don't know that. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
Pathé News.
sounds right.
Yeah, Pathé News or something like that. You know,
Some dramatic, really posh guy in a tweed jacket. Yeah. Gino says, I'll put a picture on Discord for my latest model I did. Excellent. Put it in creative projects, buddy.
Please do.
Paul says, TTFN all. Thanks for the classic music, Sion. You're welcome, Paul.
Cheers, Paul.
join us for another salon another day.
Yeah. Oh, we just hit 30 viewers. Wonderful.
With what?
Yeah. Don't forget to lube and subscribe, people. June says, I don't think I watch any model makers whose profession actually is the model making. The YouTube side tends to be the business, showing how they do the hobby of model making. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I've noticed like I said, for me, YouTube's a paid hobby, but I've noticed it takes up a lot more time than what my actual modeling does. Paul says, hello to all in chat and all 4 on-screen legends. Or is that legends?
Legends.
Yeah. Hi, Paul. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, buddy. Tiff says, Gino, pop into the Creative Projects showroom for us, please. There we go.
No, I'll tell you who is a legend. A quick
on.
shout out to someone who I hope is watching. Bloke called Ray, who I met when we were on the cruise. Former Royal Logistics Corps, served in West Berlin and all over the place like that. Last weekend, in the heat of last weekend, did a 10-mile walk for SAFA charities.
Oh, well done.
So well done him. Ray, if you are listening, mate, bloody well done. Top lad.
Yeah. Well done, bloke.
If you are listening,
the bloke's had half his head taken off because he had a brain tumor and it's had it rebuilt and shit like that. He's not a well man, but he went ahead and did it anyway. It's
well done, buddy.
Legend. That's a legend. Well done, buddy.
And if you are listening, drop in the comments so we know.
Yeah.
Carl says, I just gave away my 124th Airfix Mozzie that had sat on my shelf for years to a bloke who recently built an actual flyable aircraft. I said, "Are you ready for the real challenge?"
Wow.
124th Airfix Mozzie. Ugh.
Yeah. Julian says, I think NATO was also developed to counter the bloc created by the Warsaw Pact, the Soviet Union and its allies. Yes, it was. Very much so. Jim says, or you could ask the panel, etc. Just stand back and watch the sparks fly. Ha ha ha. Cheers, guys. Happy weekend to you all. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers.
You too, Gary. Take it easy, man.
John says, something about Gary's orange reminds me of a plane that people bought as a sport plane, like a P-51. How did the RAF and British forces like our aircraft? I know a lot of the
P-51s are beautiful, and the P-47s and
I know
P-38, beautiful aircraft.
a lot of the Royal Navy pilots in World War II had to go over to America to learn and do their training on a course there, their carrier training.
Yeah, a lot of the RAF pilots now fly in, do their training in the States,
Yeah, especially
Yeah, because we fly American aircraft now.
in Texas. I mean,
Yeah,
basic
35s.
flying training.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all the F-35 stuff is in Arizona.
Yeah.
Yes.
Winkle Brown reckoned the P-51 was probably the best piston-engined aircraft of the Second World War.
And he loved his Wildcat, his Martlet.
Oh yeah, and he liked his Air Cobra. It was even after the guy at Bell condemned it as a flying accident waiting to happen, he took it up for a few little bits of aerobatics before he said goodbye to it. But he did say P-51 because its high critical Mach number on the wing meant it could maneuver more effectively at high altitude and high speeds. So it's like the perfect escort fighter, and with the range it had as well. It was just an outstanding aircraft. So there's basically just nothing wrong with it at all. He loved it.
No, I think it was the best fighter in World War II, yeah, in my opinion.
In his humble opinion, Carl says, I always had trouble with biplanes. Yes. Mr. Morris doesn't like biplanes.
Well, Mr. Marley doesn't either, does he?
No, Marley does.
He loves them.
He just puts them on back to front.
Back to front, yeah.
His wings on up and things like that. Yeah, anything that's where the wings are held together with string.
Yeah.
That's rigging and me do not go together.
Well, the Henschel 123 I've got coming is doesn't have all of that nonsense. It's quite a sort of rigid fix between the two wings with the interplane strut. It's really big and chunky and solid.
He likes it big. He likes it chunky.
That's interesting. Columbus Models says that the P-51 was originally designed for a British requirement.
It was, yeah. The Americans did not want it.
Wow. John says
the
P-51 was the Cadillac of the skies.
Yeah. There's a guy in the Pentagon were trying to force North American aviation to make more P-39s. And basically, they were asked
Is that the Aerocobra, the P-39?
Oh, God. No, sorry, P-40s. The Tomahawk, Kitty Hawk, whatever
lovely
you want to call it. But in 3 months, North American came up with the Mustang and just knocked it out of the park. That guy in the Pentagon, when I think it was when the president found out about what he was doing, because his cousin worked at Curtis, they fired him on the spot. And that day, the Americans ordered the Mustang.
John says, need more coffee.
Always.
Yeah, don't we all? Carl says, the Henschel is that the one with the wing connector that looks like an hourglass.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
The 1/32 scale ICM kit's coming out next month.
Ooh. Joe says, P-51 wasn't its best until the Merlin engine was added. Yeah.
2 secs, chaps.
Okay, old boy. Tally ho. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, I have. Stand by.
I've got gardening books, but they're dirty.
You haven't muted, Gary.
I know. It's all right.
All right.
Just discussing this box of blue pills that's arrived.
I was not.
Marion sounds very surprised.
They're not black ones, though. They're blue ones.
Not
They're
half as
called
surprised
anti-
as she was going to be.
Marion
called-
wants
They're called anti-roll devices, Marion.
Marion wants some rubber gloves, and I haven't been on AliExpress today.
They're so he
Stabilizers.
doesn't pee on his slippers in the morning.
They'll be big.
Okay. Kieran says, afternoon all. Old man problems.
Today the role of Dorcosaurus will be played by Pitskits.
Yeah. Kieran says, hope everyone is well. We are, buddy.
We are, mate. We're good.
John says, I heard they were using parts from Crash Zeroes to fix American planes. Its engine was a copy of the Curtiss Wright. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not really an aviation person, but yeah. I will admit I am enjoying making aircraft models, though. Propeller aircraft models. I'll admit that now.
Well,
Good.
when we do a tornado,
See, Tornado is the one jet other than Harrier that I wanted to do anyway.
bugger, we'll have to find another one, John. Got to find one he doesn't want to do.
I'd be
I can't
delighted to
We
do
can't afford
another.
Buccaneer, so don't bother with that one.
What about a 148th B-52?
Jesus, wet. Ian says, hi, Kieran. Kieran says, hi, Ian. June says, laugh out loud, just seen on Facebook. If someone says you look like an elf, check if they look like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings. Dobby the house elf or Elrond. Okay. June says, afternoon, Ian.
All good stuff.
Yeah.
So I've officially reached the stage with 2 minutes to go, whereby this has got to go into primer, which I will do off camera. And, but I have today put some Lello on my prop.
Lovely.
All the dangly stores are painted in the correct colour.
Ew.
I have built the rockets, but I will be painting them sky as per the instructions. So I was looking at what Mikey was doing, and it looked a bit too white to me.
No, if you look at the pictures, that's. Yeah. But anyway.
Okay, so I've repainted all my blue, as you probably saw earlier. It's all quite midnight blue, Oxford blue for the RAF version, and I've painted the heat shield for the exhaust stubs. So that's titanium aluminium with a drop of clear yellow to try to make it look a bit sort of yellowy. It's not really, but I didn't want it too yellow. And I'll carry on when we kill this and paint the wheels and start putting it all together next week.
Yeah.
Cool.
My wheels are done.
Yeah, I've got to do stuff like that.
They're ready to go on.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
It's all been good. It's all been good.
We've got a few more messages.
Massages.
Yeah. John says, sad to hear the United States Marine Corps retired the Harrier. I like that plane. A great British and American plane.
I don't know why the MOD got rid of the Harrier. Never understand that.
Carl says, the Airfix 172nd Tornado from MRCA days is a loss. A good kit from its time. Cool.
MRCA is what they called the Tornado before they called it the Tornado. It's multi-role combat aircraft.
Yeah. Kieran says, the P-51 Merlin thing isn't strictly true. The Allison engine Mustangs were brilliant in low level and remained in service with the RAF until the end of the war too. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the higher altitude escort role that the Merlin with the 2-stage supercharger.
Yeah.
Made it much more fuel efficient as well, which meant it could have the massive legs to escort all the way to Germany.
Imagine the other one would have been better for low-level tank busting and train busting things that they did in France and Germany.
Oh, yeah.
GM says, John T. Jap engines were licensed built from Pratt & Whitney, not Curtiss. P-51 are excellent aircraft, have octotal or 3 flying. There we go.
Yeah, so Gary flies P-51s. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
What a dream that would be.
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Carl said, I can't paint as well as you do.
Hey,
Practice.
yeah, just do it.
Yeah. Junior says, you could build the 148th Airfix Supercat Jaguar, Mikey.
Yeah, we could. Gary's already done it.
It's a damn good kit.
Do like a jet.
Damn good.
Could we build something that I'm actually familiar with? No, I'm joking. Junior says, Carl, I think the key is not to try. Just be the best that you can.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it. Yeah.
Is that the army song? Be the best that you can be.
Yeah. Build for you, not other people.
Yeah.
Carl says, this live build and chat is awesome. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We love it too.
Thanks, man.
That is very kind of you to say so.
We do it 4 times a week.
Orange.
Well, group builds we do 3 times a week, but we do 4 live streams a week. Tiff says, a lot of it is just practice, Carl.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. John says, thanks, lads.
No problem.
Yeah. Callum says, Mikey, check your Discord DM for a preview of what I'm working on. I'm just looking at it now, and it looks very cool. That'll look lovely when it's printed. Bob says, back to watching the 3D printer. Yeah.
Wonderful.
He's going to have like a whole army of just like crocodiles, dragons, lions, and kangaroos hanging around. That'd be funny. Right. Thank you all for watching today. It's been really enjoyable, as always.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had some good conversation. Yep.
Mine.
Yep.
Finished?
Sure.
We've had some good, interesting conversations. We shall be. Shut the fuck up, John. We'll be back on Monday at 12 o'clock for our regular. It's not a buddy build, but it's just a panel, and we just have a chat whilst I'm working on whatever we're working on.
And if I'm not frolicking in the woods in my mankini, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But you probably will be because you're part of a cult now.
I don't know. Might not be one next week. I don't know.
Yeah. On that note, cool vow, everyone.
Hooroo.
Bye.
Cheerio.